PRX against EG in the lower bracket final. In terms of this map, was EG's map. They won pistol, they won anti-eco, and PRX won the next 2 rounds. This nade was incredible, forced them out. EG just did so well. They had such low money on this one. Jorgmo was insane. His util just really changed this round, and it's just such a pivotal round for me in terms of like the swing of this half that I had to include it for sure. And the fact that 3 of them stay alive and they managed to pick up some guns was just everything. And yeah, shout out to Jorgmo. Mad impact on this one. Like I said, really kind of changed how this half was going. It was looking pretty close up until that round, and then it just started to slip away from them. This is something really cool that they added in, or at least I think they added in for this game. I hadn't seen it before. You can see a shock dart that lands like this. First of all, if we focus on the main screen, it opens the door so he can shoot them in the side. On top of it as well, it's done so much damage to them. So just a multi-purpose like I've drawn on the minimap, kind of lands here, does damage once you're going for a fast strat, and the fact that if they go even faster and they use the neon over towards main, the door is going to be open and they can kill them. So yeah, I thought this round was great. Really, really cool. Loved it from them. Very dominant half. Was 9-3, and then PRX won the pistol. This was their bonus. I love this little bait from EG. They normally do a 4-1 default, but they decide to do a 3-2. They take the rope, so potentially the people from A main are calling that to the person trying to get out of there, so they might go a little bit faster. And Boostio does way more than he should be doing in this situation. Yeah, and the flooding and the spacing to do that as well. Jorgmo again, making himself hard to hit, so the trade is going to come in. I thought this was great from them. Like I said, just EG on Fractured look better than everyone, to be honest. But we did see some nice stuff from PRX. I'm just going to quickly draw this round that is taken from, it's actually Talon and Lock-In that did this all the time. I think this is important to do against EG. You don't want to give them too much space on their attack, and they just decide to instantly go underpass with the wall that blocks vision, and they crunch relatively, I say relatively late. It's still early in the round, but it's like 5 seconds late. So they're kind of out into the open, and yeah, I just love this round. Like I said, stolen from Talon, but the fact that both teams were kind of adding something new in for this one, and you could relatively see their game plan come into play, I thought it was great to watch. This was a very pivotal round as well. PRX was starting to make a comeback. So many ults were used into this, especially if you look over towards EG's money. It was a really important round. A lot of important kills coming in. Jing gets a kill in heaven here, which is just like, I wasn't expecting him to get it, and it was just a very close round, and it also highlights just how good Demon 1 was playing. It was one of his better series of this LAN. He had a lot of impact, especially on the last map as well. He just kind of took control for sure. And yeah, I was just impressed with his performance. I felt like he had some real standout plays for me in this. So yeah, just shout out to him. And like I said, this was just such a big round in terms of the amount of ults that were up. And I think if PRX managed to get this, like I said, with the economy being so low, there was a chance that it would go the other way. In terms of the map, but again, EG so strong on this map, and yeah, Demon 1 playing really, really good. Just gonna play this one out and show him winning this. Yeah, buys enough time on that. Didn't even get it half, and yeah, he just played it perfectly. Love this from them, and just the whole map, like we said, pretty dominant, kind of what we expect from EG on this map. So I didn't want to spend too long on it, but yeah, nicely done from them. Fracture kings at the moment for sure. Then we went over towards Lotus. I highly recommend people watch the VOD. But yeah, if you don't have time, that's probably why you're here. So let's go forward with it. But again, the VOD was great. We're 2-3 in. It's been pistols have gone over towards EG. PRX is starting to look good into this one. And you're going to kind of just see why. This was a good example of just how crazy they are. Like, when you play against these teams, you don't expect them to do this stuff. Jing's W'd over towards here. Forsaken's W'd past your crosshair as well. And they're taking so many timings that you're just like, man. Boostio's just like, oh, okay, sure, I can just do it back to them. Doesn't quite work like that. You gotta... Sometimes you got to be born and bred with the W gaming. But yeah, it was nice. We had some cool plays from them as well. Just the overwhelm potential of this. Camera goes in, they get the tag, they have the Omen flash. On top of that, they have the boombot as well, and they're just hunting people. Just aggressive camera usage. And I'm not a fan of the Cypher, but I think they use the Cypher well on this map. Then we started to see EG get back into this one. PRX were looking really good, especially as they won the second pistol. As in the second pistol of the actual map itself. They won 1 pistol each on this one. And yeah, so basically we just had Sky ult flood over towards A, and ever since then it started to look pretty good. We had this retake, which was great from PRX. It's up to the 8-9 scoreline, so really important round for them. Ethan does great to kill Jing there, especially when he was in mid-raise ult, but this was just such a masterclass. As soon as he uses his Cypher ult, instantly goes over towards tree, has the Odin, tries to get 2 from it. But yeah, I just thought it was so smart, just such a really nicely played round from them. They needed to win this, especially with how low their economy was, and the util and the ult usage was just spot on. So yeah, love the kind of plays that they were bringing into this one. Even some trap plays that were getting in here. I also like how they approached this. This is like a trap play that they did all the time on this map, but they kind of waited for a lot longer before they did this, kind of hoping that EG were just thinking about their own game. And I think there was actually a pause before this where EG were talking about what they wanted to do, and then they brought out this trap play. So I thought it was really, really nice. Then we started seeing this. We started getting the op out, and the op was doing so much. He got the first pick into this round, he gets the first 2 picks into the next round as well, and just kind of punishing the fact that PRX love to peek. So yeah, then we got back into a 10-11 scoreline, getting pretty close. Money super low for PRX. This round's really been really nice. EG so far have gone and got the C orb, the B orb, and now they're going over towards the A orb. PRX have pressed tab, and they've worked out that this is what's going on. They managed to get people into here in the right situation, and they just punished this, and I just thought it was nice. Just everyone staying on top. I thought the actual plan, or the counter plan, I guess it is, because it's kind of on the fly plan once they saw them getting the orbs, was really good. And it brought us down to 10-12. 10-12, we're looking over. It's a 3v5. It's looking pretty good. They managed to get the first kills over towards A and B. And yeah, it should be theirs to take, in theory. Jing has his ult as well, maybe rushes it a little bit. Giacomo getting some big kills as well, just the util was perfect here. And yeah, I just think the PRX maybe rushed this one a little bit, and it does creep into their game sometimes, get a little bit too carried away, but sometimes, it wins them a lot of games. It wins them a lot of games, it wins them a lot of rounds, but sometimes it backfires. Went all the way back to 12-12, and we had Jing Mania. It was actual Jing show in overtime. Look at some of the stuff he does. This was incredible. So they dog over towards door. As soon as he spots where someone is, insta-sat you out. And then another one to get him this. And it's just like, that shouldn't be happening. It's just wild scenes. It really is. Wild scenes in overtime. That was to bring them to 12-13. And then this one on top of it as well. Eats a flash, manages to turn away. And he goes forward. And this is the problem when you play this team, and like you saw it in that other round that I highlighted, it's you just don't expect him to be going forward in some of these situations. Time is really low on this one. Just want to quickly highlight Jing at the moment. Obviously, after getting those first 2 kills, he's 1 away from his ult. Gets the kill. Dog stun comes in. Easy ult for him to finish it off, and yeah, just such a standout in overtime. He had a really good game. You look at some of the scores here. He is actually pretty much consistently having very insane impact on Lotus. It feels like it's his map, making the raise almost look like a must, to be honest. So yeah, that was very impressive from him, and just a nice map overall. There was just very good ult usage from both of these teams in this one. It was just such a fun map to watch. Then we head over towards Split. EG's won the first pistol again. Just seems like the common trend. And PRX have won the next round. Sorry, 1 round. So it was 2-0. Then they won 2-1. Then we go into this round. I just want to highlight everyone's money. Just how big and pivotal this round is itself. Right, everyone's really low. It's such a big swing round itself. 1v2. PRX play a little bit individual. Like maybe they could have played, I say maybe, they definitely could have played this one a lot better. Com does fantastic in this, and just being such a big pivotal round really gave EG a massive boost into this one, as we can see, 4-1. Then we had this round. Everyone just look at the ults. We have 8 here. You know it's going to be a mad round when you kind of look at that and see how many ults are online here. So just wanted to play this one out because it was just crazy. Just such a big pivotal round when someone has this many ults and they use this many ults into it. You got to kind of just highlight it. bit of a mess up again from PRX. I do feel like there's some of this stuff slipping in. They didn't realize that the smoke was going over towards heaven, and then the Astra ult comes in just a little bit late. That gives him the Seekers. He realized that the Lurker's there, which then forces Jing to try and push forward before the Seeker goes over to him. And it's just that one kill over towards site, just snowballing into a really bad round in theory. Like, it was looking great, but yeah, just those little... It's just a good example this round of just how one thing can just domino effect into just so much stuff going wrong. So yeah, that one kill really meant that this round went the way of EG, and it would have been, especially when you look at the money, it was another must-win round for PRX. So this is the round that followed it as well. So we're getting over towards the 6-1 territory. It's looking really good for EG. Demon 1 started doing Demon 1 things again, just consistently on every single map. To be honest, he had these moments. It's a very good sign for him, especially with the final today. Should be pretty exciting if he's on top form. We actually got over to 7-1. So it was a 7-1 scoreline. PRX managed to get around, and then they had this as well. So they won the round before. It's a 1v3 right now. Spike is down. Astra Suck is here. They tried to do the block. Such a close round this. Bustio got off the spike, obviously, because it was half bullet shot him, so he knew it as well. Just checking the timing, and he just buys just enough time. So yeah, really nicely done from Mind Freak. And yeah, kind of catapulted them into actually having a decent half in the end. And then we go straight back into this. Got to go right back onto this one and just get into the second half here, because like I said, 5 maps, got to try and trim it down as fast as possible. This is, so basically PRX, first half was 8-4. PRX won the pistol, then they buy the op into this. They then fake a mid push, and obviously EG have no idea that they're going to have an op. It seems risky, but it's not too risky because he has knives if he loses this round anyway. And so yeah, they go heavy over towards middle. They fake their mid pressure, so they're trying to force a reaction over towards one of these sites. And then they have the op here. They don't expect it, and the op actually moves around the map, and they manage to win this. And this was massively pivotal into just actually how this went. This was the rest of this round here. So you saw the op pick, and then the time was so low, they were so scared of the op that they just had to force over towards A. And yeah, just really managed to get this round, and it was just another one of those rounds where they won and got all of the guns. They got all of the guns to make it doable, and just give themselves just such a slingshot into actually making this comeback doable. Like I said, 7-1, and now we're at the 8-8 mark, I'm pretty sure. Going to skip on forward to 9-9. This was the round that they faked, right? The mid push that they faked on the bonus rounds, and they actually go down all the way through middle. I kind of love this round. I thought it was good. Smoke here, meaning that people have to kind of force into it. And yeah, again, just always want to have your smoke a little bit deeper in these choke points, so you kind of force them into these kind of areas so that they can't insta flash and get loads of map control out of off it, and basically burst through the smokes better. So really nice round from them. Loved everything about it. 10-10, fast forwarding to it. Forsaken is wild, straight up. He gets this kill, he dashes away, he then jumps back and out duels Demon 1. Like, the confidence in this team is insane. I don't know how their coach manages to just hold his calm for most of this, because it is just some of the most insane stuff. They do the craziest stuff. They lose some of the craziest rounds, but they also win some of the craziest rounds. And it just makes for some of the most fun Valorant to watch. Like, they're one of my favorite teams, especially when something is playing. They are just one of the best to watch, in my opinion. Just so entertaining. And this was wild, really. You look over to Split, you think that they were 7-1 down. Like, this rarely happens in such fashion as well. Like, they only managed to get 3 rounds beyond it. I thought it was incredible. Definitely worth pointing out this as well. You look at the fast kills, fast deaths. Fast kills were very heavy over towards Evil Geniuses. So yeah, definitely in those mid rounds, and just the hero plays that we talk about from PRX coming to fruition. And yeah, love this map. Thought it was a great map, really good one. If you want to watch the VOD, highly recommend it. Then we go over towards Pearl. It's a best of 5, of course, so we're on to the other map. This was a cool pistol. EG, like I said, we're just winning the first pistol on the time in these maps, and I thought this one was great, right? The Viper Molly mixed in with a Sheriff. Obviously, if people don't have armor, that's just one body shot for them. And it also shows how good PRX are with just their reactive util, right? They managed to kind of work out that there's a stack here, and they did okay damage. They almost managed to actually trade this back and do great in a situation that should not be in their favor. They did lose the pistol, then they go over towards this second round, and they buy up into it. So big risky buy rounds can really decide like how the game and the half's gonna go, especially if you lose this one, and especially with a team of EG that are so good with just ults and just having economy on their side. So yeah, big risk for them, but Jing does incredible here. And I just love the fact that they're all playing together, like double peek there, even with this 3-person swing off the top of this ult. Like everything here was just so nice. It was really, really good. The overwhelm was great, and yeah, I just love this round. I just love how together in a unit they are. They're all on the same page that they want a W. they want to go in, and the fact that there's so many of them that understand how they want to play it, it's just great. This was wild. I've never seen a Harbor ult have this much impact. Love that we went to the overview for this as well. This is when the Harbor ult's really good, when there's so many of them stuck in the same place and you're trying to dodge your circle, I guess we'll just call it, and you end up in someone else's circle and just everyone's stunned. It was such a good retake from them. PRX may be looking at how NRG like to play this map and just holding heavy over towards here, and EG just being on top of it. Backfired a little bit, managed to give him a good run into this. So we're going to fast forward over towards 4-4. Did love this round. Just quickly want to highlight that Boostio before this ult was one away from his AWP. They pushed over towards A. They got his AWP. They pick up his ult. They pivot all the way over towards B. B was getting hit a lot. It's Pearl. And yeah, I just thought that this was great into it. Loved everything about it. Just their forward thinking again in terms of just getting the ult, having the plan, and wanting to shut down B early was very, very nice from them. A little bit of a risk in some of their rotates, but obviously PRX don't luck too much. You do see CGRS bringing it out now and then, but yeah, I thought that this was great. This is a cool round. This was a really cool round. I just want to quickly put this one back ever so slightly. So we got a 4-1, and I'm pretty confident, not 100% sure, that they wanted to fake B because they've been over-rotating in terms of EG, then they were going to hit A site. I want everyone to look at the minimap. You're going to see a Sky Flash. I think we just missed it, sorry. You're going to see a Sky Flash come in. Okay, Sky Flash is going to come in here, right? And with that info, it hits the people over towards A main. Now I think they changed their plan. They originally wanted to fake with B, then hit over towards A. But because they've got info over towards A, they then decide to hit A itself, heavy, and then they decide to use the person over towards B as a lurk. And I don't think this was the original plan. It could have been, but I just thought this was a great sign of PRX without Benkai. I know there's been a lot of questions like, can they mid-round? How is the mid-round? How is their calling? And I just thought this one was perfect. They pivot all the way back over towards B. CGRS is buying a lot of time over towards A. And just everything was just so good. And I felt like their mid-round adjustment to getting hit by the Sky Flash here was just so perfect. I loved everything about it. And I thought it's just a very good sign for the future of this team. And they're kind of like hive mind IGLing style, I guess. They in interviews are saying that it's basically all 5 of them. So yeah, it's a little bit crazy. I've heard that Divine and Forsaken maybe are a little bit more vocal than the others, but yeah, it still sounds like it's some kind of hive mind mentality thing. That was a big round. That was the extra pistol round. EG winning both pistols into this. That normally indicates that they're going to be winning this. We go over towards the first buy round. First big buy round, and PRX were really adamant on shutting down B. Makes a lot of sense. It's Pearl again. Wanted to shut down B. This is those things where they're just so crazy. Comms had enough of it and just knew there is a small chance that he's wild enough to just W forwards and just be at this spot again. And yeah, I thought it was good. You just saw the slow adjustment of like everyone's mindset from EG just being like, we have to expect them to do the craziest things because it's gonna happen. Like it's just how they work. It's what they like to do. Okay, so this is a massive round as well, especially when we look at this. We look over towards the money. right? Money's really low. Paper X need this, and that kill to Forsaken is just so important. They have the ult on top of this to really just make sure that they can win this round. Just looking at the time as well, and I just thought the overwhelm and just how in control they were in these moments were just really pivotal. Had to include this round here because again it was just such a big pivotal round, and yeah, just kind of forced them out, got the information of where they were, and just everyone dealing with everything very nicely. So yeah, I just wanted to just highlight this one from EG. I just thought it was just a big pivotal round, especially as it forces Paper X down to an eco. So yeah, not too much that Mindfreak can do in this situation. And then we go over towards, coming near to the end, it's 11-6. Demon 1's doing his thing over towards site and pretty much close to taking us over towards the finish line. Again, he just had these rounds. Every map he would have one round where he just completely took over and just won it himself. And yeah, it was pretty dominant towards the end. Like I said, there was a big couple of rounds where if Paper X won it, maybe their econ would have been a little bit different. But EG very much in control of this one for sure. Then we move over towards the final map, final fifth map, CGRS. We haven't really spoken about him. He had, he was doing fine. It's just the fact that these games were so long, I couldn't include everything. They really needed him for this one, and boy, did he show up on this. It's a pistol. It's a 3v4 at the moment. Overwhelmed towards the back of site. Just ridiculous, like what a ridiculous performance for him. It's probably the biggest map of his career in terms of it is just the biggest map of his career, and he's just doing that. He's looking so comfy and just bringing his team into a really good start, and it felt like they needed momentum. They actually had slow starts into all of this. I love this higher lower setup, and when you're looking at it from this, you're kind of like, oh, okay, it's just a wall that completely blocks it. So you're not expecting the person in front of it. So I loved this idea, especially on the low buy, to get them this first kill. I just thought this one was great. I'm actually got the rest of the round here in terms of the highlights. Time got really low again after EG lost the first kill, and they had to force over towards B, and just everyone did great with the flood. The flood overwhelm here was really nice. CGRS did great for this. Got really close. Look at this movement from Jorgamo. It's kind of crazy. Definitely look at the time. Just get this one down, but yeah, Devi in the right position, snowballing them into a 3-0 start. So everything's looking really good. Then we had this. We just started dueling a little bit, one by one. Boostio over towards middle. The overwhelm over towards A site once we had lost the people in towards middle. And yeah, you can see why he's doing that. His impact is crazy. He is involved in so many fast kills. It's wild. He's kind of playing the Killjoy or the Sentinel sometimes, especially on attack. It's like a double duelist. It's really wild. This was a sick plan. So we have a wall here. We have a flash that's gone over the top from A site, if you look at where the KO is. We have an eye as well that's gone in and has scanned this. The only thing that I hated about this was the fact that he had a Vandal. If he has a Phantom here, I think he might be alright. Jorgamo sees the bullets and just spams back. But again, the idea itself, it was pretty nice. I should have included it, but Alex's replay POV after this was pure devastation. They definitely started throwing in more. Replays of the coaches because I think he was a little bit more animated. It's another Demon 1 round. It's a new map. It's another Demon 1 round. Got to include them. This was actually his most impactful map. He was outrageous on this map for sure. As we get over towards it, we got a 4-8 half. Bear in mind, it was 3-0 at one point. Just kind of shows how dominant EG were on this. They were looking really good. Their overwhelms over towards sites were good. And yeah, just their map control was great. Just want to kind of pause this here. This recon that we were doing just cross map all the time was just so strong. Paper X actually were getting wrecked by this recon. A lot of the times people weren't shooting it in time. Ethan's flash through door was great. And yeah, just the flood, the overwhelm, and definitely the util from EG just felt like it gave them an advantage into this. Like I said, comms recon all the time was just scanning so many. Then we had the Demon 1 show. Again, for like what the fifth, sixth time on this. Just so satisfying watching someone with a Guardian do this. Yeah, just putting up crazy numbers. We had this as well. They just started styling on them. Like, they literally just started styling on him. It looks so good. He does the fake TP out. I'm going to let this one run with the replay just because it's such nice tech. And the timing of it, it was one of the better actual uses of it that I've seen. I've seen people do it, and maybe it doesn't look as good as this, but this was one of the best, to be honest. Just insta TP out. You can you can jump through, and you can get information. But it also, I love the fact that he had the smoke back of sight, kind of faking that he could have gone into it. Yeah, and they were just they were, like I said, styling on them, having fun, and yeah, that's what it's all about, honestly. PRX started having their rounds. Like, they were getting, there was one point where I was like, actually, this feels a little bit doable. Forsaken coming alive for this, and starting to make it, like I said, a little bit closer. We got down to 8-12. Before this round, we had just seen a timeout from EG as well. So Potter's called a timeout, and this is kind of talked about what they wanted to do. We just had a dry swing over towards A main. The Demon won, and then Jorgamo TPs over towards backside, and the fact he gets 2 here pretty much just felt like everything. Devi, 21 HP in the 1v. Dude, Com plays this so well, especially as he knows he's low HP, tries to get the most out of his shock darts fast, and the fact that he buys so much time as well. Yeah, very impressive. All of these players, you can see what it means to them. Just a crazy run at the moment. Crazy run. Crazy run from both teams, let's be honest, because PRX obviously with the stand did incredible. But yeah, EG, I think, in my mind, it was always, I was leaning towards this for sure, just because a best of 5 against a team with a stand-in should probably be going this way. But EG still looking really good. Excited, especially with Demon 1 having these performances. The rematch against Fnatic should be pretty interesting. I know that Fnatic have double map ban. That'll help them, but with these kind of stats, I don't know. I'm thinking it might not be as easy as some people think it might be for Fnatic. If you like these kind of videos, let me know. This one was definitely a lot longer, but best of 5s, sometimes it's going to be like that. I will see you for the final tonight. I'll be live streaming if you want to check me out. All right, peace.